Hey, this is Mr. Nolan. I'm here to show you how to do the expressionistic exercise of painting style. And the first one we did was the realistic one. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up similar to how we started the realistic one by selecting the template layer, which of course is going to be this one. And I take the magic wand tool, click the background, hit under select, hit the inverse, and now I have the apple. So I want to create a layer for the expressionistic. You might already have a layer for it, but I'm going to keep this on top, obviously. And I'm just going to pick a color in there that, again, just a color to start off with. I don't paint over most of it anyways. But the brush is really important here. So the type of brush that I chose to use, I like to use it, is going to be, it's down, if you go down past the general brushes into the dry media brushes, this one's called Kylie's Ultimate Pastel Palooza, okay? Anyways, it gives a nice expressionistic brush stroke to it, to the painting. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it in solid with, I'm going to bring the opacity up to 100% and make it really big. I'm just going to fill that in. Of course, recognizing that I'm on a different layer, okay? And now when I go to the template, I can slide that template out by taking the move tool and sliding it down. Okay, so now I can look at this while I paint this, actually, yeah, that'll work. I can look at either one. They both work. It both works. So now let me go ahead, zoom in just a little bit. Let's see if that'll work on my screen here. Yeah, pretty much. Go ahead and pull it down just a little bit. Alright, so to do this, I'll lock the template layer again, click on the layer, lock my realistic layer, and I'll leave open. The only layer I want to leave open is the layer that I'm going to be painting on, so I don't accidentally paint on the others. Okay, so I grab my brush and I'm going to make it much smaller, and I'm going to bring the opacity down. I don't want it at 100, I want it at about maybe 60%. That looks pretty good there. And let's just start painting here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this darker color of the apple. And, oops, so why is it not? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to select the apple up here. Okay, so now I got that. And so now I can take my brush and start doing that darker color in there. Let me make my brush a little smaller. This gives a kind of a nice effect. And I'm going to go ahead and take the green now. And I probably should be taking it from the template, so I'll start doing that now, but it doesn't really matter. So when you're at like, I'm at like 60% with the, you can still see the stroking of, of the way the brush strokes lay out. And it kind of gives the emotion to your painting when you have the ability to see the brush strokes. It's not, smoothly blended or anything, and you can just, get a feeling for the artist trying to do some work with the brush work and stuff. And I'm going to make sure that I go over everything with, that I start, so I'm not showing anything from the background. And it's these combinations of brush strokes that are going to be what. I'm working, and the other thing I'm doing is I'm working from big brush strokes to smaller brush strokes. And now that I've covered it all, I'm going to go ahead and add some smaller brush strokes that will kind of give me the more of the expressive quality that I'm looking for. And I'm not afraid of putting too much in, because I can always go over it and take it out as well. So I'm going to go back in and add some more of this green color here. Darker green. You can see my brush stroke size is a lot smaller than when I started here. Okay, let me go now to that lighter color green, and I'll add some of that up around here as well. Oops, where's my brush? And there we go. That's looking better. I'm kind of keeping the same angle to the brush, but I'm changing it up a little bit, kind of, it's not all exactly the same. let's go for that really dark area in there, and I'm going to make it really small to do that. Oops, maybe I made it too small. I gotta make it a little bigger. There we go. I was using the keys to do that. Let me go ahead and get the really dark color of the stem in there. And then the little lighter side of it, it's just a brush stroke is all it is, you know, just to make it look like something is there. Let's go ahead with the get the lighter color in there of the around here. And of course the larger spot there on that. Alright, so there's this kind of a soft color on the outside there. I'm going to kind of bring that in here a little bit. So I'm using realistic colors. I mean, you can exaggerate the colors if you wanted to do that. That's not a bad thing, to exaggerate the colors in an expressive painting. Okay, we go back to the original colors that we got in here and do some of that darker work now too with the smaller brush strokes. Okay, and then I'm almost done here with this, so I'm going to add a little details here and there. There we go. And now I can do the background. So I'm going to zoom out and grab the whole background behind it. Make sure I add another layer, and that layer goes behind that apple. Now I'm going to grab the same brush stroke, get a darker green color here. Let's see. That looks good. Make my brush a lot bigger for the background here. Maybe a little bit more transparent on this one. That way I can build up the transparent layers a little bit more. So I put it at about 40%. And I can get a lighter color now for the table area. Notice I'm not just coloring it in solid. I get a really dark area now. Add some of the darker in there as well. And now I can add a shadow color underneath, something really dark underneath here. And there I have my expressive apple all done. And alright, so if follow these directions, do a quick drawing of a expressive apple, and get ready to do the next one for the next video.